emphasis of the romantic frame, perfect for couples to keep up with romance. This means in general the proposed benefit of the treatment. The ingredients put into the water, the holy water, one could also say here, usually rose leaves, but more at buyer's options. Drinks served, obligatory, is a glass of champagne, but sometimes in addition to soft drinks and small snacks. Complementary objects, I would like to call them requisites, as slippers and bathing robes for temporal use. Here's the second one. And time-space conditions, apparently most relevant, the precise service time, the time you will spend in a private or in a shared space with other clients, and the information on how to book, schedule, and prepay the services, usually exclusively via internet. In part 1, I will continue with some remarks on public bathing in European modernity in order to better compare with contemporary bathing experiences. In part 2, I will then link the commodified body treatment to the new forms of industrial digitalization that gave rise to new service-based businesses too. In the concluding part, I argue that even though this contemporary bathing practice seems to perfectly align with the old notion of face-to-face interaction, it serves as a somewhat typical example for digital programs. Though changes have occurred according to particular structural and cultural developments, considered in terms of surface features, there's a remarkable long-term consistency when it comes to the rituals of organized public bathing. We also witness an early link to aristocratic practices. In the 19th century, the vacation resource of European royalty became attractive for various reasons. Here we see that the idea to combine wellness and health, socializing, performances of status, and entertainment, such as the common local casinos in the 1900th century, was already in existence during this period. I quote from the current website of Bad Ems, my first example of a historic spa in Germany I have visited. Scene of world history and stage for prominent figures, artists and scholars, a stay in Bad Ems always means a cultural travel through times, through different epochs. Bad Ems is also called the Emperor's Spa, an allusion to the most famous guest of the town, Emperor William I. For nearly 2 decades, he came to the health resort for recreation. Like him, many representatives of the European aristocracy, of dynasties, of the educated and elegant society streamed into the spa every year. They all helped Bad Ems achieve great fame and made it a world spa at that time. Tsar Alexander II, King George IV from England, Queen Amalie from Greece, King Leopold I from Belgium, the list of the celebrities of that time is rather long. But the health resort can look back on a much older tradition. It is amongst the few spas in Germany that can verify an uninterrupted career as a spa since the Middle Ages. The impressive palace-like Baroque spa house and the Baroque building, house with the 4 towers, so this is the name of the house, are witnesses to that epoch. End of quote. I do not quote this because it is very original, but because I feel it is a representative example how rather random events of history are put together when it comes to offer a framing narration for potential tourist and spa guest practices. Another example is from Austria, and I took these two examples because I know the locations very well, so I know what is just going on there, and even though I don't give details right now. Another example stresses the aspect of the medical regime involved. I quote from this website. This is in Austria, and the location is called Bad Ischl. I quote, in the 1820s, the town experienced an upturn as spa resort when doctors started sending guests for cures and recreation to Ischl. One luxury hotel after the other was built, country houses emerged, and the infrastructure was improved to suit the needs of demanding guests. From 1849 to 1914, Ischl was the summer residence of Emperor Franz Joseph I and experienced a heyday. In 1853, Franz Joseph got engaged to Elizabeth Sissi, the famous Sissi, Austrian Princess Diana, in the Seehauer House building, today's Bad Ischl Town Museum. As a wedding present, the couple got a summer villa that became later on the Kaiser Villa. This means the emperor's villa. So you have this expression again, and I just want to lead your attention to the small photos, to the small pictures on both of the slides. These are contemporary photos, and they reenact these aristocratic scenes, both in Germany and also in Austria. So they usually have festivals where people actually appear in costumes and